and the Midnight Library. In the quiet, tree-lined suburbs just outside a bustling southern city, where magnolia blossoms leaned heavy over wrought iron fences and the nights hummed with cicadas, there stood a neighborhood known as Willow Heights. It was a place of legacy, Black families who had built wealth across generations, their homes standing proud with wraparound porches, manicured gardens, and the kind of peace money alone could never buy. And on Willow Street, in a stately brick home with emerald shutters and a garden that smelled of mint and jasmine, lived Avery Caldwell, a historian, a dreamer, and someone who had been feeling strangely unmoored. Everything changed the night the lantern appeared. Chapter 1. The Lantern. It was nearly midnight when Avery stepped onto the porch, seeking fresh air after another long evening of trying to write a book that refused to be written. The porch lights cast a warm glow across the polished wood, and the garden rustled softly in the breeze. But something new caught Avery's eye. At the end of the walkway, sitting neatly on the stone path, was a lantern, old-fashioned, flickering with a soft golden flame. Avery frowned. No one in Willow Heights left things lying around. And certainly not something this antique. A small tag hung from the handle. For the one who seeks what was forgotten. Avery's heartbeat quickened. The air felt charged, like the moment before a storm. Chapter 2. The Path. When Avery lifted the lantern, the flame brightened, impossibly bright, casting a warm halo across the garden. The hydrangeas glowed blue, the roses shimmered red, and the tall oaks lining the street seemed to lean closer. The lantern tugged Avery forward. Not physically, but with a pull that felt like memory. Down the walkway. Across the quiet street. Toward the old community park that had been closed for years. Avery hesitated at the rusted gate. But the lantern's flame flickered, as if urging, "Keep going." Chapter 3. The Door That Shouldn't Exist. Inside the abandoned park, moonlight spilled across cracked pavement and overgrown grass. But at the far end, where an old pavilion once stood, something impossible waited. A door. Freestanding. Carved from dark wood with swirling patterns like vines and constellations. Avery whispered, "This wasn't here before." The lantern's flame flared. And the door opened. Warm light poured out, along with the faint scent of old books and cedar. Avery stepped through. Chapter 4. The Midnight Library. Inside was a library unlike anything Avery had ever seen. Shelves stretched impossibly high, filled with books bound in leather, cloth, and materials Avery couldn't name. Soft lamps glowed from floating sconces. A long rug